Good morning, YouTube, and today I don't know if I'm gonna call it day 2 because there's days between, but we start actually working on the SL today. That's the 93. The clutch needs to be replaced. I'm gonna go probably replace the flywheel too, but as of today, I'm gonna literally just start preparing stuff to where I can actually pull the engine. Right now, I need to find somebody that can actually come down and help me while I pull it out. But right now, we're gonna replace the clutch, pressure plate, flywheel, throwout bearings, slave cylinder. Slave cylinder went to go bleed the clutch. Maybe, just to think maybe that could be the problem. But yeah, it busted off. So there's a definite problem there. The bleeder valve busted off. So I need to replace the slave cylinder. I'm gonna go clutch, pressure plate, throwout bearing, flywheel, and then go from there. So I'm gonna take off the wheel. I sprayed down the exhaust nuts with PB Blaster last night, and I'm gonna go sway bar, ball joint. I'm gonna spray those off with PB Blaster, and then start taping stuff up. Make sure I'm labeling stuff. We got baggies, and I'm gonna get right into it. So hello, back with Maisie. I bought basically all the fluid besides oil. I brought some tools over. I don't have my dad's tools anymore, so I had to bring all my own. But first thing I did was you take your key for your wheels, and I just cracked those loose. And then once I cracked those loose, I put it up on jack stands. Now they're on jack stands. Now I can take off the wheels. And then I'm going to spray down the ball joint bolts and the sway bar bolts with PB Blaster. And then I picked up the clutch and the slave cylinder and the flywheel come in. Got it from O'Reilly. I'm going to go performance later down the road. I'm basically just trying to get this thing on the road. But I got the flywheel, slave cylinder coming in literally a couple hours. So I'm just trying to get as much as I can done before I have to pick that up. But we'll get there today. I have no school or work today, so I'm getting done as much as I can. Hell, if I could pull the engine today, I'd love to. That's where we are right now. Alright, next, I'm going to take off the caliper. So I take off the caliper bolts right here and here. And I'm going to take off the caliper bracket. There's 2 bolts down there. Looks like somebody did a pretty bad job of painting this. They just painted it right while I was on. So, but that's regardless. I'm going to do that, and I'll get right back to you. What I decided to do, I had to put the wheel back on. I took the center caps off. Make sure you have your cotter pins out if you're using this for educational purposes, like you're trying to do this. You have to have the cotter pin out. And I popped out the center cap of the wheels, and I'm going to put the wheel or the car back down. Once the car's back down, front wheels aren't going to move. You're going to take off the castle nut, jack it back up. And yeah, so that's where I'm at right now. I'll get back to you guys as soon as that gets done and tell you if it worked or not. Alright, so the 1/2-inch extension, which is right here, way too wobbly, and I did not bring a shorter one. So I'll have to go and get one, and my parts are supposed to be in, so I'm just going to go grab those anyway. So I'll get back to you when I get that extension, and I'll show you the flywheel and slave cylinder. Okay guys, oh, there's my dog. But sway bar link, got it off, but this one is rounded off, so I have to grind it off. I bought a new one that comes in tomorrow, and I got this one disconnected right here. So we are good on this. Now I got to get the ball joint nut off. There's that right there. And then I should be able to pull out these CV shafts. I'll give you guys an update when I get there. Alright guys, calling it a night, but I got the passenger side CV shaft out, as you can see. But I'm having a lot of trouble getting out the ball joint bolt. That nut has to come off. In order for that, this is completely blown apart. In order for that to happen, you have to put the pickle fork or the tuning fork right here, and it's supposed to wedge it out, and you can get the nut off. Not working, so I'm really not sure what I'm going to do. But I'll get back at it tomorrow and keep you guys updated. Actually, I picked up the slave cylinder and all that. You can check that out really quick. Flywheel, clutch. and pressure plate and slave cylinder. I thought I just had the slave cylinder, but anyway, it's all from O'Reilly, just basic oil replacement. Here we go. Yep. I'll get back to you guys tomorrow. Hey everybody, I came in a little bit earlier today, and I got the CV shaft out. Took a lot of pounding in the ball joint. Finally got the nut out. But now there's two nuts. There's a CV shaft, I would call it a bracket. Not sure if you can see it back there. There's a bracket with two bolts. I get those out. I'm not sure if I can get that without pulling the CV shaft boot apart. And then I'll be ready to pull the engine. I have to disconnect things obviously, but that's where I'm at right now. I'm going to try to get those nuts out, the bolts, and then I'll get back to you. Alright, so what I did next was I went to go disconnect the exhaust. I sprayed it with PB Blaster last night so it'd come off pretty easily, and it did. Yeah, that's my downpipe. Oh no, yeah, that wasn't even connected. Figured, you know, I knew I had an exhaust leak, but turns out the downpipe wasn't even connected, so that was pretty easy to get out. Now next is try to get those bracket bolts off. Once that is out, I can start disconnecting things and we get ready to pull the engine. So that's where I'm at. And there it is, got the CV shaft out. And this is what the bracket looks like. There's two bolts right here, and there's two holes that sit on fittings. So you have to wiggle it free because it will not move if it's still on there. You have to make sure that the bracket's free. And the way you get it out, my downpipe wasn't even connected, so that made it 10 times easier. My downpipe wasn't even in the way at all. But if you look over here, this is on a 93 SL 3000 GT, and the bracket went right there. There's those fittings. It's a 14 millimeter. I got a wrench right here to the top one, and then I had to get actually you could use 3/8 inch ratchet, 14 millimeter. Got it free. And you can't pull it that way. You have to drop this side of the CV shaft and then bring it down, pull it out that way. That's how I did it. And whoa, trying to clear out, but that's how I did it. Now I'm preparing to pull the engine. So I'm gonna be pulling plugs, double checking everything, making sure I'm good to pull it, loosen the motor mounts. You know, obviously put the cherry picker on first, and then we'll be pulling an engine. I will be pulling an engine soon, so just stay tuned. You guys, here I am right now, just disconnecting plug after plug, taking pictures along my way. I can't think of anything that was hard besides like a couple plugs down here. Pretty hard, but gotta get this out, and then I should be ready to pull the fuel rail or the injectors. Unplug vacuum lines. I'm not sure if I have to disconnect, just take out the AC compressor in this car. I did with mine, and it doesn't look like it's gonna hit very much, but I will let you guys know if I have to. That's where I'm at right now. Basically disconnecting stuff. I have about 20 minutes left before I have to leave. I work at 3:45 today, so another look. Any questions, ask down below. I'd be happy to answer them. Hey guys, thanks for coming along in this video. I was unplugging stuff, got the fuel rail unplugged. Nothing has gone bad so far, so that's fantastic. I don't know, I can't think of anything else besides, you know, got to unplug a couple more things. Power steering pump, might have to take off the AC compressor, but as far as that goes, I only have a couple more things to disconnect. I need to find some help, you know, somebody that can help me take out the engine. But thanks for coming along in this video. Stay tuned, next video will be coming out very shortly, and I appreciate you guys coming along. This is, you know, I got to get this thing done because my dad left already, so as soon as his house sells, just got to go. Got to get this bad boy on the road. Anyway, thanks for coming along. Like, subscribe, share, and I'll see you guys next time.